Hey y'all, so I just want to come and tell y'all this is just a continuance of this video, so you haven't seen that one, go check it out. But we're gonna get deep, we're gonna get personal, so sit back, stay tuned, and I'm so glad that you're here. Family is supposed to be our safe space, but what happens when that space becomes toxic or hurtful? So y'all, I wanted to come to y'all and have this conversation with y'all because this month has really opened my eyes to some things that I was so afraid to kind of let go. I wanted us to talk about family ties, relationships, and things like that. My question is, have you ever had to distance yourself from a family member or the family in hold instead of forgiving them? And the reason I ask that is because I know, and I'm speaking as an African American woman, coming up in an African American household or a black household, it's always you depend on your family, blood is thicker than water, and whatever the family do, it's the family secret. What happens in this household, what happens in this family stays in this family. We don't talk about it anywhere else. I think we have come to the point, and I will speak about me, in a black household, an African American household, we are holding secret pain, stuff that really should be out and about, that should go to court, jail, whatever. We're holding these things in because Big Mama growing up was taught we don't talk about that stuff. We bury it down and we move like it never happened. So when you go to the family reunion, don't nobody talk to Uncle John because Uncle John do that stuff. And don't look at Aunt Mary because Aunt Mary like to touch on other people. Don't worry about Auntie Pam. Just keep your husband close but my thing is, why we can't talk about it? Why can we not call out those family members even if it's going to tear down the family? Why can't we talk about it? And also, why do families choose sides when they know right from wrong? It's like, why choose for one family member to be hurt for another family member to not to go to jail or just be disbarred from the family? Why do we pick and choose on who to support and who not to support? And when it comes to forgiveness, it is framed as, in a black family, it's the right thing to do. Regardless of how hurt you were, if someone did something to you or whatever, we forgive them because it's the right thing to do. It's the Christian thing to do. We're family, we're blood. So you have to forgive me. Regardless of how many times I've hurt you, you have to forgive me because we're family, right? And ain't nobody gonna treat you like I treat you because I'm your family. But other than that, you got outside people treating you better than your family. Like I said, we're taught to forgive because family is family. But my thing is that help? Do I have to forgive Uncle John? Do I have to forgive Auntie Mary and Auntie Pam? Do I have to forgive them? Because if I don't forgive them, then I'm wrong. I'm wrong for taking the next step. If Auntie Mary and Aunt Pam did something to me, or Uncle John did something to me, I have to forgive them no matter what it was because we family. But if I don't forgive them, I'm the black sheep, I'm the one in the wrong. Sometimes staying in a family dynamic like that can cause more harm than it does good. I'm gonna say that again. Staying in a family dynamic like that can cause more harm than good. Because like I just keep saying, if someone keeps hurting me over and over and over again, is forgiveness enough? It might be good for that person, but what about me? Have you thought about how I am doing mentally? How am I doing when am I able to sleep at night? Am I able to eat? Am I going crazy? Do we think about that stuff? Or don't we? Because at the end of the day, as long as I can forgive Aunt Pam, then I'm okay. Then everything's right in the world. I just know next time I need to change my way so Aunt Pam won't feel the way she needs to feel to hurt me. I really do think change needs to happen. Some people gonna say change don't need to happen. Family is family. Okay. I do know that forgiveness, cool, you can forgive somebody, but I don't have to be, as I consider it, family with you anymore. I don't have to be all kumbaya with you. I don't have to go to any more family gatherings. I can forgive you if I want, but my thing is this. Forgiveness, like I said, forgiveness don't mean that we're gonna ever be cool again. And forgiveness don't mean that we're gonna be all kumbaya again as well. This is my thing. What happens when you forgive, but you want to take that distance out of it? You want to be distant from your family. And I think this is where the hard part comes. The grieving process. You're grieving people that's not dead. That's the thing. And I feel like it's necessary to grieve them and distance. I do feel like distance is very necessary. If you're at a place where forgiveness is not an option for you, then distance you have to take, because at the end of the day, you're going to feel better, but you're going to grieve that family, because it's not the whole family, but the whole family is against you. So when you think about the time that you had with your cousin that you're so close with, and you think about the times you had with your little cousins that your cousins had, you're like, dang, they used to be at my house all the time. No, they not. They used to be traveling with me all the time, but they not. And that is something, when you sit back and you think about it, you like, dang, that hurts. It hurts so much, because it's just like, my issue is not with you. My issue is with Auntie Mary and Auntie Pam. But because you're on their side and everything that I'm doing is wrong, or the steps that I took to protect myself and my family is wrong because I didn't do what y'all wanted me to do, now I have to grieve you as my cousin, and you as my auntie, and you as my uncle, you as my grandma, my grandpa, because of the simple fact that because I took my action against them, now y'all feel like I'm attacking the whole family. So now there's no relationship. Now I'm grieving the fact that I have nobody. Like, you have, like, it's like when you take those steps, you sit back and you say, I don't have nobody. It's just me and the little family that I created. And sometimes that does create sleepless nights and things like that. So it's just like, with the family side, do I just forgive them and then go back to hanging out with them and take little steps and leave early if Auntie Mary, Auntie Pam come? Or, you know, don't call and see, is Auntie Pam and Auntie Mary invited to this get together, or is it just this part of the family? Or do I just say, I love y'all so much, but I cannot put myself through that? Again, if you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. I will say, in the beginning, when you have to distance yourself from your family or go non-contact with your family, it hurt in the beginning. It really do. But when you decide to heal, the peace that comes from that is amazing. The peace that you feel over yourself, it feels like the weight of your shoulder, the weight off your shoulder have been lifted, and it just feels like joyous. It's like, even though I still hurt and feel the guilt and feel the judgment from my family, because yes, I took these steps to protect my family that I created, my big family is still judging me and mad at me, but at the end of the day, I have found healing, I have found peace. And honestly, that is when you finally get peace from that, it feels so good. It feels so good. So my thing is this: when it comes to family, we love our family, and like I said, as an African American woman that grew up in a black family, it's hard to let that family dynamic go, because, you know, I feel like in a black family, that's your bond. That's your livelihood. That's who you grew up with. That's who you know. That's who you believe that's gonna always have your back. You never think that your family is going to be the one to disappoint you or do things to you that is just unforgivable to you, and then they still expect you to forgive and move on and do as you're supposed to. But then when you want to go and leave that, you get judged for leaving. You get judged for taking the next step to protect yourself and things like that. But at the end of the day, as long as you're doing it for yourself and you feel protected and you're not doing it out of spite or evil, you're doing the right thing. Now, the thing is, I'm speaking real. I know y'all probably asking, okay, well, how do we make the decision to leave? How do I make the decision? How do I know that I'm in that predicament? I will say this, and I'm gonna speak from my personal experience. If your well-being is consistently at risk, it's okay to prioritize yourself. It's okay to put those boundaries up. It's okay to take yourself out of the situation. That's first. Secondly, like I said with the grieving, you're gonna go before you even make the decision, you're gonna go through a grieving process even before then. When you make the decision, it is not an easy decision at all. Like I said, you're going to go through that grieving process beforehand, because you're going to think about all the memories you had when you grew up, all the memories you have with all your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your cousins. And depending on how close y'all are, like if you had your Christmas, Thanksgiving, and with the church together, all that stuff is going to start like flashing back. And you won't really think like, is it really worth it for me to do this? Like, basically you're going to question yourself like, am I really going to tear apart this family? Am I really going to do X, Y, Z? But if your life is at risk and things keep happening constantly to you, and like my mama say, when you sick and tired, that's when you gonna leave. Like I said, speaking from my experience, it's not easy to remove yourself from your family. The roller coaster of emotion that will happen to you is super hard. I'm just gonna tell you straight out, it is super hard. Sometimes you'll be having a good day and you sit down around and you just go blank. You start thinking about, oh my God, like me and my cousin, we would go out together. I would get my little cousin and be at my house all the time. And like you start thinking about all this stuff, like, oh, I used to hang out with this auntie all the time. We used to go shopping, we used to go partying and stuff. And it's just like, you don't have that. Now you have to create a community around you with people that's not your blood. Then it's like, who do I trust, who I don't. So it's just like, dang, you know, and this is why I say the decision is not easy. It's a hard decision to make, because when you start reminiscing about the good things, that will make your judgment cloudy. It will make you seem like, oh, what they did to me wasn't that bad. It wasn't that, even though Uncle John, whatever, it wasn't that bad. And I think I could be okay. I just gotta maneuver things this way. And I know I just gotta show up to the party early and leave a little early before Uncle John, Aunt Pam come, and this. It's just like, why? Why do you have to make all these adjustments for people that hurt? Why should you have to make an adjustment for people that keep doing it? And you told them, I don't like that. I'm not comfortable with that. So why should you be the one to make the decision when they're the ones who's doing it? Oh, because family is family. But let's think it in what? Ain't nobody gonna treat you like I treat you. Like I said, I will speak from personal experience that family ties are the hardest to break. Everybody think, oh, when you on our relationship and best friends and all that stuff, yes, that's hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not. But if you grew up in a close-knit family and something happens in that family and someone speaks up to protect themselves, a spouse, a child, or whomever, and they speak up to protect whomever it is, and the family say, no, we not gonna talk about it. You just need to forgive them. You need to go pray. You need to go to church and ask God to give you a forgiving heart. And they never gonna do it again. Okay, I did that, but it happened again. So what do I do next? I say all this because I really want to hear y'all thoughts on this. I really do. I feel like people are battling things and they don't know what to do next. And sometimes they feel like, you know, if I talk to my friend and my friend gonna probably have the same outcome as my family, nobody's gonna feel biased or give me an option or explain it out to me or tell me the way my pros and cons and tell me that, you know, you was a little girl when that happened, or it really don't matter, you know, you're big now, and you know this family member don't even come around no more, so why even stir up that stuff? Why even open a door that's been closed? So I would like to hear your thoughts when it comes to family ties. Is it okay to distance yourself from family then forgiving them? Have y'all ever had to make a decision to distance yourself from your family, a family member? Like, have you ever had to make that decision, like, you know, for me, I need to be away from my family? Like, have you ever had to make that decision for yourself, for your kids, for your spouse? And if you did, I would love to hear about it. You know, maybe your story or your comment can help somebody else in the comments. Maybe it can help me. Who knows? And then the last thing is, do you think forgiveness is always the right path? So all together is, have you ever had to make a tough decision to basically be distanced from your family? Or do you believe that forgiveness is enough and is always the better path? Like I said, I just came on here because that was something that I have been wondering about, just forgiving family and, you know, figuring out what's the next steps. And I know that I have people in my life that is currently dealing with this, and people that has dealt with this. Some people have stayed in their family and others have went no contact with their family. So I just really want to hear from you guys to see, you know, what would you guys do? What do you think is the better option? Or if you feel like, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I am going to go ahead and end this vlog. I had a really amazing time with you guys over these last couple of days. I hope you guys enjoyed my crazy Dutch Bro weekend. Just trying all these crazy Dutch Bro drinks over these last couple of days. Y'all, I'm really done. I'm not going to have no more Dutch Bros for another 5 to 6, maybe a week. I probably won't order no more Dutch Bros for a whole week. I do apologize for the lighting because y'all know I'm in a room, so it does turn about white, and then this blue does not help with the lighting as well. But yeah, y'all, I still have my Legos, so I'm probably gonna end up doing that probably later today. Respond to a lot of y'all comments. I really do love that you guys are loving the vlogs, that y'all are interacting with me. I know I fall behind on comments all the time, and I do apologize, y'all. It's just, you know, working and trying to do everything else, it kind of takes over. And y'all already know I got that personal trainer, which we have that tomorrow. And I just think, you know, sometimes I just, like I've been telling y'all, I overwhelm my dang self and I put too much on my plate. But I'm learning to take a lot of that stuff off the plate and only eat the small portion that I can handle. Like I said, I really do hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad that you guys been connected with me, liking, commenting, subscribing. Hello to all the new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for believing in me. That's all I really have to say. We get back on this camera again, I'm gonna say it. Peace, love, and stay true. Shade crew. Bye.
Through the door, hands all over me. Now all my clothes are all over the floor.